Delegation is just the beginning as we're looking at how do we hold team members accountable to get the results that we have shared with them and that we think we've agreed upon. Hi, I'm Heather Younger. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can maintain trust with team members and at the same time show them support and expect things in return. So let's jump right into it. The biggest thing about having people be accountable, showing them that they need to be accountable, is that you first and foremost have to know that you hired the right people. You hired them. If they weren't the right people, you need to check your hiring skills. If you hire the right people, you have to trust them to do the job that you want them to do. So that accountability portion is founded upon trust, and you get that by trusting them first because you hired them. Now, another thing to really be thinking about is we need to make sure that we set clear expectations. And what I mean by that is one-on-one, not just in an email, letting the people know what it is that you need from them. What are the goals of the team and the organization? What were the directives given to you? And what do you need to achieve in order to meet those different goals? And then with those expectations, what is their part to play in achieving those? Oftentimes what happens is that we are telling them things, but we don't involve them in what their role is. And here's one of the other tips I would tell you, and it is this. You want to make sure that it is that you have buy-in from the get-go. So co-create the expectations. Make sure that when they know they're accountable for something, it's because they had a hand in creating the thing they're accountable for. They are very clear about it because you sat down with them and co-created the expectations together. It never feels good to be on the other end of somebody directing you to do something and you have no voice or say at all. And so here's what I would say too. If you want to hold someone accountable, make sure that their voice was heard in the process of setting the expectations, of setting up the goals, of setting up the priorities. If their voice is included, now they feel more empowered. Now they're okay with holding their own selves accountable instead of it always being you who has to do that. Listen, I have had times where I have, or team members have fallen down, meaning we did not reach goals. And often what happened is there was a lack of clear expectations. And so this brings me now to a point of this. Are you clearly communicating what those expectations are? If someone goes outside the guardrails of the expectations that you co-created and you set together, how are you handling that? Are you handling that in a way that makes them feel reprimanded, like their hands are being slapped? Or are you bringing them in and asking them, inviting them into the conversation to say, what do you think went wrong here? Let's talk through this together. Let's figure out how we can get past this next time. Listen, accountability doesn't just mean this or that, or spank their hand and slap their hand, right? It doesn't mean just that. It means that they were clear from the get-go. They felt confident in the role that they played. They knew the assignment ahead of time. They went in with knowing what the limitations could be or how much risk they could take because you were super clear in the expectation setting phase. You can't expect to hold somebody accountable for something they weren't clear on to begin with. So be very clear in your communications with them. Another thing is, let's say you're doing this in a meeting, on a Zoom screen, a Teams screen, in person. And you have this discussion and you feel like you ended on a good note. Like, okay, we all are clear about what we need to do to move this project forward. Send an email afterward outlining what you think the agreements were and then say this to them. Send me a reply to confirm this was our understanding. Or if there's something I missed, please make sure that you put that also in the email that you reply to me with. That way, there is just no gray there at all. And everybody is included in the decision making, everybody's including the expectation setting, and that way, when you look to have to hold someone accountable or make sure that they're achieving, you've already set those things up. Finally, one other thing I would say as it relates to accountability and expectation setting, because they go hand in hand, is you want to make sure that they do know there's a certain amount of risk-taking they can do and a certain amount they cannot, and that there are very clear milestones for checking in, very clear goals that we know there are signs of success that you have co-created and set up together. That's how, when you come to it, you won't be having these conversations with them on the accountability sessions where everybody's going, wait, what? I was supposed to do what? There's going to be so much clarity involved. The odds are there'll be a lot less errors and mistakes taking place anyway, because there was so much time in the front end of co-creating those expectations, setting up the clear milestones, forwarding and following up to make sure that everybody is very clear, and making sure that they can come back if for some reason something was missed. So you can hold people accountable while still showing support, concern, and care for them. They can feel like that they are in partnership with you, that you have their backs when risks are taken that are calculated, when they are also having discussions with you, so staying in close contact with them is going to be critical during that phase. You will see much more success from your team when you do that co-creation, when you partner with them, don't direct them, and when you are there to support them, even when they go a little bit outside the guardrails. Accountability is amazing. Delegation is just the beginning, but it's all the stuff that's in between that makes all the difference on your success, individually as a leader and as a team. Hopefully you loved the video and you will share it. And if you're listening on the podcast, please do share it far and wide. These are nuggets that I'm taking my time out to really try to impart for you, giving you some tools to help to move your team and your organization forward. I mean, by the way, we want to learn how to lead by example, and in the process, build a magnetic culture in the meantime. Take care.